Hi, everybody. My name is Viana Polanco, and I'm here very happy and excited because today I have this live, educational live with the health coach, Andrea Joy. Andrea is actually a health coach here in Naples, Florida. She's a mindset coach. She's a stress. She works with gut health, and she is actually my personal health coach where I work. So, Andrea, thank you very much for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to chat with you today.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. And this is very important. So please stay tuned. This is beneficial to you, to your family, to your loved ones. This is about health. This is about mental health, physical health. So basically, we are going to discuss topics, very important topics right now that are impacting society, stress, um, mental health issues, your physical health. And we are going to talk about our personal experiences. Andrea and I, we met a couple of months ago and we connected in such a high level because we have similar stories to share. They have to do with our health. So, Andrea, basically, I have a question for everybody. What would you do if today you start to feel like feeling very, very sick, but then tomorrow you're feeling the same way or even worse? Next week, next month, you're feeling the same way. Next year, and you got so sick that you got to a point where you cannot eat, your body is refusing what you eat, you cannot sleep, and the anxiety is absolutely destroying you, and you cannot work, earn income. You have to stop totally, completely your life. That can happen to you, that can happen to your loved ones, and that happened to me and Andrea. So, Andrea, if you can take it from here and talk about your experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Viana. So that's the question, right? I think we tend to avoid that question and the answer to it. And maybe sometimes our thought goes to, well, I would just take medication. I just go to the doctors and do whatever they tell me to do. And
Mm-hmm.
that is the case for me. I definitely did. I spent about 2 years going to traditional doctors and just tell me what to do. How do I get better? I'm feeling so much pain, so much inflammation, burning. It literally felt like someone had my tailbone and my hips and everything on fire. Like the heat it was burning me. So the pain was so excruciating, and I would go to doctors. So like you said, I don't feel well. Day after day, I'm getting worse. I'm being told at 29, I'm going through menopause, which is ridiculous.
20.
29. So not getting any answers, dealing with joint pain, chronic fatigue, um, depression, anxiety, food allergies. I mean, allergic, and I know you'll mention this as well. We really get each other here, Viana, but just like you can't eat anything, rashes from food, hair loss, and just falling apart at such a young age, and not getting any answers from doctors. So going to traditional doctors, going through the MRIs, and doing all the things that they recommend for years, sitting in waiting room after waiting room. I don't know if anyone's experienced this, but it is horrible. That especially to be in your 30s and sitting in waiting rooms to see the doctor and being told they don't know is extremely frustrating and painful. So after a couple of years, I finally decided, okay, I need to take it in my own hands. I need to go the holistic route. And I kind of knew that in the beginning, but it took me a while to get there. I started to go to functional doctors. So functional doctors are doctors looking for the root cause. They're not going to just give you a medication. They're going to say, okay, where does this stem from? What's really happening in your body? So I started traveling to all parts of the country. One spot was in Washington State. I traveled to for 2 years, from Florida to Washington, from Florida to Washington.
Wow.
And every visit was at least to this world-renowned clinic was about $10,000 every visit. But I wanted to get better. Yeah, not easy. So taking out a second mortgage, I was working as an insurance agent at the time. So I'm trying to hire people, train people, manage people at the agency while flying out there constantly, trying to really survive. I mean, honestly, I knew something was really wrong and I didn't know what to do. So I learned a lot at these clinics. I went around the country to different clinics. I went to Dr. Mark Hyman's clinic. Found another one in Florida that I went to, and started to understand more and more about holistic medicine and getting to the root cause. So with all that, I learned that I was dealing with Lyme disease, severe mold toxicity. So I'd been exposed to mold since I was like 12, maybe even sooner, because it's very popular in schools. Epstein-Barr virus, leaky gut, which was causing all these food allergies, just severe anxiety, obviously, from a lot of it, and depression. So couldn't gain weight to save life of me, which most people think is great, but I wanted to be healthy. It wasn't about being a certain weight. It was about being strong. It's always been that way for me, being strong and healthy. So couldn't gain weight and just was really, really sick. At one point, my mom was driving my car for me. I had someone come and help me cook. And I had family, my mom really helping me clean. I could just get to work and back, and even that was too much. In and out with dealing with IVs hooked up to me, and tons of supplements, probably hundreds of supplements, just desperate to take them, and finding something to work. So it took a few years of that to realize, okay, I'm learning a lot and I'm starting to do some healing, and I'm dealing with all these different toxins in my body, and I'm starting to understand all the important things I should have been doing. And that's why I'm doing
Mhm.
what I am now, because these clinics were great, but no one really addressed nutrition. So I didn't really understand how to eat. And
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. They don't, I mean, I'm thankful to traditional medicine, but they give you something to calm the pain, not to go to the root of the cause of these
exactly.
changes in your body.
And even the functional doctors, holistic doctors, weren't really addressing food as much. So I really was, and I had sugar cravings since I can remember. I remember eating Rice Krispie treats for Christmas morning out of a box, not even the homemade ones, like Kellogg's Rice Krispie treats bars, and eating like 10 of them for breakfast. Like, I was always eating sugar. I didn't gain weight, which may sound great, but then you don't really realize what you're doing to your body when that's not happening. So highly addicted to sugar. When I would go to that clinic in Seattle, I would ask them, when can I have pancakes again? When can I have, waffles? When can I have bread? Like, they were like, you got to heal. I'm like, when can I have these things? Just tell me. So addicted. Um,
Ah,
so that's what led me to go to school for nutrition. And I became a certified her certified health coach,
so
through
proud of
IAN.
you.
Yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
I wasn't getting the answers even through functional doctors of what to eat. So nobody was really telling me what to eat. Some were helpful, but still saying to me, you're probably going to have to go like this the rest of your life and avoid this food, this food, this food. And I thought, no, I'm not doing it. I'm going to eventually go back to eating what I want, things in moderation. I'm not going to live like this. So I went to school for that, and I started to heal more. And then I realized this is great, but the mindset's a big part of it. And I hadn't addressed that as much. So that's when I started following Dr. Joe Dispenza and Eckhart Tolle, and really digging into the mindset work. And I went to two just Dispenza events where we did these intense workshops, and I meditated for 4.5 hours at once. And it was mind blowing. And I really understood I was living in fight or flight, and I needed to get out into rest and repair.
Yeah, and something important to say, to mention, if you haven't been in something similar to what she's talking about, you don't know. It sounds like something, I don't know, easy. Going through that process can damage your mental health. I mean, your whole life changes completely. Lifestyle, your dreams, your life stop completely. You're not functioning. In addition to that, the hospital bills, Andrea. I mean,
Oh,
the whole world goes upside down. I went through this situation, and alone, because my family doesn't live in the United States. They don't live here. And it was very hard. And it was kind of similar. One day I started feeling this way, the next day, the next month, and the next year. And I had to quit my job. I had to stop. I was working in a master's. I had to quit. I stopped my personal life, everything. I was focusing only on my health. I was going through such a pain and discomfort that I couldn't even sneeze, because I felt like someone was stabbing my abdomen. And I used to go to a hospital, typically like 8 to 9 times per year. Imagine the hospital bills after that. And nothing, everything is okay. Everything is okay with you. Go home. And I'm very thankful, for traditional medicine because they calm the pain down. They had to put morphine on me all the time,
Oh, wow.
which is horrible. But yeah, and then I started to feel that I couldn't function anymore. The stress, the fatigue, the anxiety. I couldn't sleep, not even for an hour. I was shaking. I couldn't function. I couldn't leave my house. And also I started developing some cancer cells in my body, and that was another journey. So after I started following, Jill Dispenza, I started reading tons of books about people that are going through this, and who is helping these people, and what are they doing, and who is healing, and who is not healing, and what can I change. So I started to, I don't know, to identify what is was going causing like a good feeling. I was listening to my body. I feel good when I do this. I feel bad when I do this. I feel good when I eat this. I feel terrible when I eat this. So I started writing like everything, a log sheet with every food. I went through allergy tests. I realized I'm allergic to a lot of food. So I didn't know anything about me, about my body. And I was like, I can't, I started identifying like every time I am with this person, I start feeling nervous. This person is bringing a lot of problems constantly to my life, and it's increasing my stress levels. And so I started working on me, on myself, and I made changes. I started putting these, barriers, healthy barriers, like, no, I can't talk to you. No, nobody calls me. I'm sleeping 7 hours. I'm going to eat this food. I'm going to take away all this, the gluten, the fries, the corn
Mhm.
syrup. I'm going to just be a new Vienna. And I was able to change, improve my health because I have a chronic condition. I was able to improve my health. I can tell you 80 to 90%. I haven't been in hospital like for 2 years, I would say, um, for um, my condition. And honestly, I'm like another person, mentally and physically, with all the changes that I implemented in my lifestyle completely. Like I'm another person. But if you don't go through this, you don't understand. It's like, what are they talking about?
I know, and I was just gonna say, first of all, your story is beautiful, and thank you for sharing. Because I understand it's more than just the words you're saying. I understand that the pain that you go through it, and how frustrating and lonely it can be. Family is great, but they only understand so much, right? It's people that actually go through it that get the depths of it. And I think a lot of people may be thinking too, like, well, I'm not that bad. I'm not that sick, but it didn't start
Mm-hmm.
that way for me. It started as these whispers, a little bit of like joint pain or inflammation, and then it just grew until it started screaming at me. And then I had to like really look at it. So what we're doing, I think you agree with me on today, is trying to get people to look at it while they're hearing the whispers. The little thing is coming up where their body's saying something's missing before it gets to where we went.
Listen to your body. You listen to your body. Every time you eat, every time you are with this person. I actually, uh, because of this, I wrote a book. What I did, within this process, between these, like, what, 5 years of my life, the past 5 years was just writing, 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 and reading. So I started to write the things that were changing my life and making me feel better. So I wrote this book. I launched this book. It's called Retomando el Control, which means like taking your power back,
Mhm.
because I was able to see the improvement in my health, my mental and physical health. And then I was, I still battling with the cancer cells. And I was like, if I don't make it, at least I want to be able to help other people because I'm improving. I'm
Yeah.
improving my health. So I want to help people. So that's the reason why I wrote and launched Retomando el Control.
Yes, I will say that's truly inspiring. That's something I would love to do one day. So you have a
You
beautiful,
will. You're amazing.
thank you. I appreciate
Have a
that.
lot, a lot to write about.
Yeah, I do. I have a lot to write about. Yeah. And it's been about 9 years for me. And my goal has been for day one is, reversing disease and truly healing my body. And I believe we are all capable of it. And
Are
yes,
100%.
yes. And just like you said perfectly with, we're so concerned too about toxins. That's a big part. I have these pillars I work on with my clients. We're worried about toxins, but we forget about toxic people. And sometimes it's hard, even if it's family or close friends, but it's really just gaining the awareness of how those people make you feel, how certain situations make you feel. And it doesn't mean cutting people off necessarily, you can, but it's just creating that space for yourself to heal and for you to take care of yourself first.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. And being able to identify if something is aligning with you, with your harmony or not.
Mhm.
That's very, very important. It can be work, it can be your partner, your spouse, it can be a family member. Is this person causing a stress constantly? It's not like of course, we're human beings, we're going to go through stress, but in a constant level every single day, there's a problem and another problem and more bad energy and more stress. You need to cut that off. It doesn't matter. That's coming from a bad place. Like you need to cut it off. It's not good for your mental health. So that I've learned this the hard way. I was
Yeah.
not unable to identify that, and I was allowing people to abuse me in so many levels.
I agree with you, and I think as women too, I don't want to group us all together, but I think as women too, we're typically the caretakers and the one to take care of the family and the one to push through, right? So we take on, and it's like, well, this friend needs help, this family needs help, they need to talk to me, I need to help.
Mhm.
And it's really understanding it. You won't be here to help them if you're not taking care of yourself.
All
It's
the
super
time. You
important.
can't
And
take responsibility of, pay for the responsibility of other people constantly. You need to take care of yourself. Love
absolutely.
yourself
So, yep.
first.
And it's a very difficult thing, at least it was for me to learn that the minute I step back, I'm giving that person the chance to show up for themselves. Because if
Yeah,
I'm always there to rescue them or do the thing, one, I'm harming myself. I was given to the point of harming me. And that's not a good line to cross. And then I'm not giving them the chance to show up for themselves. So yeah, it's a learning process. And I'm grateful for all of it. I will say, I don't know if you felt this way, but through all of it, through laying on the bathroom floor, crying, being so sick and not knowing what's happening, through hospital visits and surgeries and, spending at least 200,000 of my own money on doctor appointments and research and all that. I still was always grateful the whole time because I knew there was something so beautiful. Like I learned so much that you can't learn that unless you go through it. And I knew that would be
absolutely.
powerful to share.
Absolutely. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
It's
We
okay.
were talking about this. We're very vulnerable. We are humans. We're not machines. Some people don't like the fact that we share such a personal information. But here's the thing: when you go through these situations, your life changes completely. Your mind, your point, the way you look at life changes. So what you want is to connect with people that went through the same situation and contribute and help, because that's a dark place where we came from. Like that's a dark, dark place.
It
And
is.
the fact that we are here trying to help people, that's a blessing.
It
And
is
we
absolutely. Sorry to cut you off, but yeah, absolutely such a blessing. And it's powerful. And I will say I teach this to my clients and I feel like a lot of people do struggle with this, that vulnerability of sharing too much. And sometimes it's learning who to share with. I learned a
Mhm.
lot from Brene Brown's books, but vulnerability is powerful. That's how we connect.
And the intention, the intention, what is your intention? If your intention is good,
Mhm.
100%,
Yep.
you have good intention.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you want to talk about some of the things like in your book that helped you heal?
So basically identify, past inventory. What am I doing? What are my habits? What are my habits? Okay. I allowed this person to abuse me. This person called me in the middle of the night asking for favors constantly. I cannot sleep. I'm working so many hours. I'm working on masters. I have to do homework. I sleep 2 hours. Okay. I don't have time to eat lunch because I have to work and go to the school. Uh, when I review and pass inventory of my habits, this is what I'm eating, healthy. I'm gonna watch a movie with a jar of nuts. I didn't know I was allergic to that.
Yeah.
So it was so many things. The things I was reading, everything was about fighting and these violence movies before I go into bed. I was like, what am I doing with my mind? I was like, I need to change my habits. And then I was not working out. So I started working out. I started being very intentional with what I read, what I eat, what I listen to, what I put in my body and my mind, the people who I surrounded myself with, and nobody's gonna call me for 7 hours because I need to sleep. Then my life started to change. And of course, allergy tests and my diets, exercise, sleeping. I mean, my hobbies, I need to have a hobby. We're not robots. We're not here just to pay bills. You need to have a passion or something that can make you feel good. So that's the life I'm living right now. And I've been able to heal, to improve my health.
That's beautiful. It's you gain so much awareness by listening to what your body needed. And that came with food, that came with people around you, that came with your what you were doing every day, whether it was too much, pushing yourself through I know I remember being an insurance agent and eating at the desk or not eating or just working through, or you just get so busy you forget to listen to even being thirsty. I remember thinking, I can't drink because I don't have time to even go to the
Oh,
bathroom. Like, it's
oh, I didn't do
ridiculous.
it. I didn't do it. I have people in the lobby. I don't eat. I'm not gonna eat. I'm not gonna take lunch. I'm not gonna not even go to the bathroom. Hey, wait a minute. You are only human, girl. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
and I did that for 15 years. That was my
Mm.
life.
Yeah. Yep. I did something, that's what I look back at the 9 years or so. It probably it went back longer, but that's when it got really bad. And that's basically what I did. I didn't create a book yet. I'm so, again, I can't say how inspired I am that you wrote a book, but that's what I teach my clients. I focus on the 5 like different pillars of the mindset, because we spend so much of the day in stress mode. So really helping them, those little tools, those
Yes.
little changes to rest and repair.
Yes, and what you're doing is amazing. Andrea is
Thank you.
actually working for a company that I'm working for. So she is helping us tremendously a lot. She's a health coach. She talks about so many topics that impact our lives on a daily basis. It is so helpful and beneficial what you're doing in companies that hopefully people, I see a change. People started to see the importance of caring about employees' mental health. It's great.
Absolutely. I didn't even really, I thought about it when I was an agent. I thought about, wow, this would be really cool to come back and help other agents. Cause there was a lot of other people dealing with health issues and help the employees. And I will say, it's been beautiful. Your team has been fantastic to work with. They're so much fun. We've been working together for a while. And it's just beautiful to see maybe people that wouldn't have the funds to hire a coach or wouldn't even think of it, to be able to get access to them and help them, to me is just so beautiful. I can't even tell you, it makes me so emotional because it's an honor to help those people that really are curious and want to do better, but just don't know where to start.
Course, it's about getting better together, and
Yeah.
hopefully we can continue, educating the community about this. And you're doing an amazing work, Andrea. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's been quite a journey, but I will say the beautiful things that come out of it is this perfect example is this conversation. Be able to connect and understand each other on a level that most people can't, and then be able to reach others that may be listening today, and want to learn more. So I'm a certified health and mindset coach. I work one-on-one, I work with groups, I work with business owners and their teams. And Viana has a beautiful book out there too about her story. So we're out there. If you're looking for us on social media, or you want to connect, or you're just feeling like you're the only one going through this, I hope you hear this story and know that you're not alone.
you're not alone. You're not alone. Reach out. There's
Yeah,
help out there.
there is. I'm so thankful I got to be here with you today. This was really fun.
It is my honor.
I
Thank you. Can't
appreciate
believe it.
it.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Thank you.